today we're working on Heiho, right? Heiho means military strategy, The way that you guys want to look at strategy is there, you know how you ever heard the old saying that says you give a man a fish, he eats for the day, you teach a man to fish, he can eat for a lifetime. So when we think about strategy, that concept is what I want you to think about. There are specific strategies that you can use in situations. They're not tactics. The tactics may change, but the strategies remain, right? So that's what we look at, like the evolution of these Koryu traditions of like Iaijutsu or Jujutsu or these old techniques. The strategy remains the same, but the tactics change in the modern day. So we can do the same thing, it just the tactic part of it, the individual movements or whatever, might be modified, but what we're doing is the same. Does that make sense? So that's kind of the idea when you're looking at strategy, because sometimes, a lot of times, people get strategy mixed up with tactics. And strategy is the big idea. The tactics are the individual things that you do to carry out the strategy, right? So if you take the strategy of Eshindyu Iaijutsu, and we're looking at this first kata, and it's kata me, where you step up and you draw your weapon, you pull furikaware, and you're coming down with kiryoroshi. So if you take that the strategy of what you're doing, how you're doing it, and why you're doing it, and then you apply that in the modern day with, say, you know, a concealed weapon, a pocket knife or whatever, something like that, an edged weapon that you may be carrying for self-defense, right? You could still take the same strategy that we get from Eshindyu Iaijutsu and apply it towards your concealed carry training, right? Because it's the same strategies are applied on both sides, whether it's Koryu Iaijutsu or Gendai or modern day edged weapon training. That's where they're coming from, right? So for us, we have these 7 ancient traditions, and I think that instead of deviating off the path and then trying to come up with these new concepts, I don't understand why people want to do that when we have these ancient traditions of people that went to war. This was their sole occupation, was war. And why not take the strategies and principles and what they were doing that absolutely worked on the battlefield and worked at that time, and then it's going to work now. I mean, humans are the same. A knife is a knife. Of course, the knife in the 15th century may not look like a knife now, but in all reality, the way that you would use a knife in the 15th century is the same way that we would use the knife now. The type of injury that would occur from a knife in the 15th century is the same type of injury that would occur now. So these people who are jumping off the beaten path, I'm not understanding the concepts so much. I understand that it has to be updated. I get that. Totally understand that. And I understand that everyone trains in martial arts. It's best for them, for the situation, etc. But I'm talking about the schools that they don't want to put any validity in the ancient ways. Like, oh, those are old techniques, those are old arts, that shit ain't gonna work in the modern day, I'm doing this. I'm talking about that group. That group is one that I just don't align with. I don't understand how they can understand the violent attack and the truth and the, what would be the word I'm looking for, how horrific a knife attack can be, and then not understand that same concept was done 500 years earlier, right? So whoever this individual is that comes up with their new mixed martial art school, there's no way they were on the battlefield using a knife as a soldier, right? You catch what I'm saying? So why would you not want to take the techniques and strategies of the people that did it over